strike, and the score. And McClellan, he could go. Burst of speed. The header, another goes in.
Heisman Memorial Trophy.
Bryce Young.
A shot with the right foot. 3-1 Crimson Tide. We talked about Alabama.
Alabama is still Alabama.
Roll Tide and Happy New Year. Welcome to the Crimson Tide production studio inside Bryant-Denny Stadium for another episode of TideTV This Week. I'm Roger Hoover, joined by my co-host Kenzie Hughes. Kenzie, Roll Tide, Happy New Year.
First Roll Tide of 2023, right? I'm feeling good, feeling blessed, because what a way to end 2022 for Alabama fans, right? A dominating win by the Crimson Tide football team in the Sugar Bowl closed it out for us.
Alabama rolled over Big 12 champion Kansas State. It was the first ever meeting between the Wildcats and the Crimson Tide. Kansas State would jump out to an early 10-0 lead, but the Tide came rolling in. In the first quarter winding down, the Crimson Tide finally scored. With only 3 rushing, Bryce Young had plenty of time and found Isaiah Bond in the end zone for the touchdown. A 47-yard pass to Jermaine Burton set up the Tide's next touchdown on their first drive of the second quarter. Young connected with Cam Latu in the corner of the end zone for the 1-yard score to give the Crimson Tide their first lead of the game at 14-10 Alabama.
And what a find by Bryce Young here with Cam Latu. The Kansas State defense then went on an 18-play drive that lasts over 10.5 minutes, but they couldn't convert on 4th and 2. That left the door open for the Tide to score again. We've seen it before, Roger. Clock winding down, 90-plus yards to go for the score. But hey, not to worry when you have Bryce Young at QB. Young took the Tide down the field and threw a perfect pass to Jermaine Burton for the score with just 5 seconds left before the half. That gave the Crimson Tide a 21-10 lead at the break. The Wildcats tried a little trickery to start the second half, but no worries. Roydell Williams recovered the onside kick. Then, 3 plays later, Young drops a dime into the hands of Ja'Cory Brooks in the corner of the end zone. Brian Branch on the defensive side then picked off this pass from Will Howard to set up the Crimson Tide's 5th consecutive touchdown. Jace McClellan punched it in from 17 yards out, and the Tide is rolling, baby, 35-10.
Bryce Young then threw his 5th touchdown pass of the game on a 47-yard strike to Kobe Prentice. That 5th touchdown pass set the Alabama Bowl record for passing touchdowns in a single game. The Tide rolled big in their 17th Sugar Bowl appearance with the impressive 45-20 win over Kansas State.
I'm proud that we came to the Sugar Bowl, proud that we won the Sugar Bowl, but I'm most proud that there was a team out there that cared, that represents the University of Alabama in a first-class way in the way they competed and the way they played in the game. So great competitive character for this team to come into this game and play the way they played, prepare the way they did to have an outstanding performance. So very proud of the group.
For me, it was just about doing everything I can to help the team out. This was such a huge opportunity, I feel like, for us as a team. Like Coach said, to try to prove something. And, for us to finish this season the right way means a lot. So, whatever comes after that, that's out of my hands. But I'm just happy we were able to win, and I was able to play a game with my guys.
For me, it's really not about me. It was more just about my teammates because they worked so hard these past 2 weeks. I mean, the practices that we had, all the film study that we had to go through, no school, no none of that, and everybody just locked in, and to see everybody smile and laughing and have a good time, just the brotherhood that was in there, I mean, it was amazing. I think that's why I'm so emotional right now because all those guys, they hold a special place in my heart. They give me so much confidence. They believe in me so much. They help me so much more than what people know, and just to be around them, it makes me so happy. So I'm very excited. I'm happy for those guys. Everybody stepped up, and I'm super proud of this team.
Bryce Young was named the most valuable player as he finished 15 of 21 for 321 yards and 5 touchdowns. Cam Latu led the team with 5 receptions, while Jermaine Burton led the Tide with 87 receiving yards. Jahmyr Gibbs finished with 173 all-purpose yards.
On the defensive side, Jordan Battle and Brian Branch each had interceptions. Branch also had 4 tackles for a loss and a sack.
With the win, Alabama improved to 11-2 on the season. The Tide finished with 11 wins or more for the 12th consecutive season, and it's the 15th consecutive season the Tide has had at least 10 wins.
That 15-year streak of at least 10 wins is the most in college football history, breaking Bobby Bowden's record of 14 straight set the seasons at Florida State.
Bobby Bowden, what a legend, and what a finish it was for the Tide in the Sugar Bowl. Let's take an all-access look at Alabama's dominating 45-20 win over the Big 12 champion, Kansas State Wildcats.
We've been in the playoffs so many times here in the last 10, 12 years. There's only been a few occasions where we have a circumstance where we haven't gotten into playoffs. And I think it's more challenging when that's sort of the goal for what the players work for all year long and came up short, to sort of recenter. You know, your circumstance doesn't really define who you are. It kind of reveals who you are in terms of how do you respond, you know, to the challenge that we have in the circumstance that we're in. So it's always a little more challenging, but I think that our players have had the right disposition and the right mindset about how they've approached it.
One of the best college football days of the year is underway. Play fake, Howard hit as he throws downfield, and it's picked off at the 21-yard line. Intercepted by Jordan Battle. Vaughn nowhere to go, knifing through the offensive line. To'o. Throw across the middle, knocked down, intended for Warner, but broken up by McKinstry.
Steps up in the pocket, fires, man there, catch made, touchdown Alabama. Isaiah Bond, the freshman.
Play action, deep ball, going again for Burton. This one's caught inside the 5 and down to the 2.
Throw it to Latu, catch made, touchdown scored. Alabama, its first lead of the day.
Big hit in the backfield by Branch, and down goes Vaughn as well. Young over the middle to Latu. He's down inside the 15.
The middle, Burton is there. Did he hang on? Yes, he did. Touchdown Alabama.
Going deep into the end zone. Oh, what a throw! On the money to Brooks for the touchdown! Bryce Young with his 4th touchdown pass. The face of the quarterback, and it's intercepted. Branch steps in front and gets the pick.
To the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown Alabama.
Fields it. Oh, gets face planted by Law. Here's a fade. Knowles can't come up with it. McKinstry knocks it away.
Rice across the middle, catch is made. First down, Bama. Still on his feet inside the 15. 10-5, touchdown, Kobe Prentice. Alabama rolls to a 45-20 victory here in the 2022 Sugar Bowl.
Sugar Bowl champ, man.
Twin, man, we going out the right way. Roll Tide, baby, forever. Forever and ever.
TideTV This Week is presented by the University of Alabama, where legends are made. Ford, for great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide.
Welcome to a sold-out Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa.
Players play, tough players win championships. If we're blue-collar basketball, we're winning this game. Okay? You play harder than them, you win the game.
Roll is exactly doing that. It's hard to hear yourself in here.
The buzzer sounds, and Bama hangs on. Oh, my goodness.
Right again. Play up. Play up in.
We need a huge crowd to pack Coleman Coliseum.
Davis with the spin on the layup.
Right to the basket. Lays it up. Lays it in despite the contact.
All right, Roger, tell me you're the best program in college football without telling me you're the best program in college football. Just take a look at the graphic, right? Alabama is the first college football program in history to have 70 NFL players in one season. That's a lot of folks. How impressive, right?
Put it in the Louvre.
Oh yeah, put it in the Louvre. And you know what? There's been about to be a few more added to that list.
Well, you're right about that, Kinsey. A couple that could be the first 2 picks in the NFL draft this upcoming season. Bryce Young and Will Anderson Jr., along with Jahmyr Gibbs, announced this week that they will forego the rest of their collegiate eligibility to enter this year's NFL draft.
The University of Alabama again. Y'all will always hold a special place in my heart. And with that being said, I will be declaring for the 2023 draft. Thank you, and roll Tide.
I want to thank Coach Saban, Coach G, Bryce, Will for accepting me. Since I've been here, it felt like I've been here for 3 years. They welcomed me with open arms. It's been one of the best years of my life. I'm very appreciative of them. So with that being said, I'll be declaring for the 2003 NFL Draft.
Coming here was the best decision of my life, so I'm forever grateful for the University of Alabama and all that, and everyone that's with them. And with that being said, I'll be declaring for the 2023 NFL Draft. Thank you, guys.
Other players have announced they are entering the 2023 NFL Draft. Brian Branch, Eli Ricks, Jordan Battle, Henry To'oTo'o, plus DeMarco Hellams, Byron Young, DJ Dale, Cam Latu, Emil Ekiyor Jr., and Tyler Steen have all accepted invitations to participate in this year's Reese's Senior Bowl. A lot of talent leaving, but we got some good news this week that kicker Will Reichard had accepted a Senior Bowl invite, but he changed his mind. He's returning to Tuscaloosa for 1 more year.
You love to see stuff like that from a guy like Will, and it's great news, but you know what else? There's a lot more talent headed to Tuscaloosa for the upcoming season because Coach Saban and the coaching staff just signed one of the best classes in college football history. Yeah, you heard it right. The Crimson Tide finished with the #1 class, and Roger, it wasn't even close. Alabama had the unanimous #1 class in every recruiting ranking. Alabama finished with 7 5-stars, 24 stars, and 1 3-star, according to 24/7 Sports. The Tide signed the #1 and #2 players in the nation in just several positions, so there's a lot to be excited for next season and going forward.
A lot of talent coming in to join one of the already talented rosters that we've seen for the Crimson Tide. And as we mentioned just a minute ago, Alabama has the most players in the NFL currently at 70, and this past week, several of them had big performances. Let's take a look at our Crimson Tide of the NFL Players of the Week.
Kicking it off with Najee Harris, because he went over the century mark as he had 111 rushing yards. Najee scored the game-winning touchdown on a 10-yard pass with 56 seconds left in the Pittsburgh Steelers' 16-13 win over the Baltimore Ravens.
Najee had the game-winning touchdown, and his Pittsburgh teammate Minkah Fitzpatrick had the game-winning interception as he picked off the Ravens' Tyler Huntley with 20 seconds remaining in the game to secure the win for the Steelers.
Staying on defense, Landon Collins has made a splash in his return to the New York Giants. Collins intercepted the pass from Colts Nick Foles, and he took it all the way back. 52 yards for the touchdown.
And Amari Cooper caught 3 of his 4 targets in the Cleveland Browns win over the Washington Commanders. Coop finished with 105 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns in the win.
Some great performances once again by our Crimson Tide players in the NFL.
They really were some great performances. And you know what? We had some great performances from the Crimson Tide men's basketball team. We'll have those highlights and more coming up next right here on Tide TV This Week.
Tide TV This Week is presented by Ford. For great offers on F-150, see your local Ford dealer. Proud sponsor of the Crimson Tide, the University of Alabama, where legends are made.
Welcome to a sold-out Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa.
If we're blue-collar basketball, we're winning this game.
The buzzer sounds, and Bama hangs on. Oh, my goodness!
How about some noise at the Rhodes House? Sliding in around the tag is Dowling.
Ashley Prangy. And Alabama takes the lead. That's well hit to center. Montana found Goddard.
Jenna Johnson. Perfectly executed.
She's looking for more. That's gone. Alabama answers right back to grab the lead.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. The Alabama men's basketball team has gotten off to one of the best starts in program history. Crimson Tide already has defeated 2 #1 ranked teams and has been ranked in the top 10 for the past 5 weeks.
Crazy impressive, and this past week it stayed impressive. Alabama opened SEC play on the road in Starkville against the 21st ranked Mississippi State Bulldogs. It was a tight game early on. Alabama dominated the paint in the first 20 minutes of play, outscoring Mississippi State, get this, 16-2. The Tide's biggest lead of the first half was 8 points as Alabama led at the half by 4, 34-30.
Mississippi State cut it to a 1-point game to open the second half, but the Bulldogs wouldn't get any closer. Alabama led by as many as 17 as the Tide won their SEC opener with a 78-67 win over the Bulldogs at Humphrey Coliseum.
Alabama had 4 score in double figures, led by Mark Sears with a game-high 20 points. Brandon Miller added 19 to go along with a team-high 11 rebounds.
Noah Clowney scored 12 points to go along with his 8 boards, while Nick Pringle chipped in 10 as he was a perfect 4 of 4 from the floor.
The Tide followed up that win with another against a team from the Magnolia State. Alabama hosted Ole Miss in Coleman's Coliseum this past Tuesday night, and it was all Alabama in their SEC home opener. The Tide used a 9-2 run to take a 23-14 lead with just under 10 minutes to play in the opening half. Alabama then used a 9-0 run to close out the half as the Tide led by 21 at the break, 44-23.
Alabama took care of the ball in the second half, committing just 3 turnovers. Jaden Bradley got hot, leading the Tide with 11 second-half points. Alabama led by as many as 27 as the Tide rolled over the Rebels to improve to 2-0 in SEC play with the 84-62 win.
Competing for an SEC championship, you got to take care of your home games. We got the one tonight, and we've been making a big point of emphasis on the turnovers. Turnovers were down. Thought we were much better that way tonight. I thought our defense was decent. We were obviously aided by them not shooting the 3 very well tonight, but I was a little disappointed with our effort once we kind of built the lead up there in the middle of the second half. I think we got to do a better job closing games, playing hard, whether you've got a lead or it's tight or whatever.
Alabama committed just 7 turnovers in the game, their lowest of the season, and you know Coach Oates likes that. Brandon Miller led all scorers with a game-high 17 points. Mark Sears had another terrific game as he finished with 16.
Jaden Bradley had 14 points while Javon Quinterly scored 11 as he shot 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. The Tide's other double-digit scorer also led the team in rebounds. Noah Clowney finished with 10 points and 8 boards.
Hey, he's creeping up on a double-double, and for his performance in the wins, Brandon Miller was named the SEC Freshman of the Week for the 3rd time this season. Miller recorded his 2nd consecutive double-double with 19 points and 11 rebounds in the win over Mississippi State. Miller leads the SEC in scoring at over 19 points per game.
And Alabama keeps moving on up in the rankings. Crimson Tide is the highest-ranked SEC team in the country as they moved up 1 spot in the AP Top 25 to number 7.
Alabama moved up 2 spots in the coaches' top 25 this week as the Tide is 7th, just 1 point ahead of number 8, UCLA.
It will be a big one this Saturday in Coleman Coliseum as the 7th-ranked Crimson Tide will take on number 25 Kentucky on Saturday at noon.
The Alabama women's basketball team opened SEC play this past week as well. We'll have those highlights and more coming up next right here on Tide TV this week.
Great competitor, just beautiful to watch from start to finish. Practice is paying off, and she knows it. Beautiful. It's going to be a big number. And sticks that landing. Beautiful landing. Oh my gosh. Perfect stop.
Right again. Play up up. Play up in.
We need a huge crowd to pack Coleman Coliseum.
Davis with the spin on the layup.
Right to the basket, lays it up, lays it in despite the contact. What? You better hush your mouth, girl. Woo.
Stop it, Brittany.
Welcome back to Tide TV this week. The Alabama women's basketball team had a strong start to the season as Christy Curry's squad finished non-conference play with an 11-2 record.
This past week, the Crimson Tide opened SEC play with a matchup at home against the Georgia Lady Bulldogs.
Georgia jumped out to a 6-2 lead to begin the game, but Alabama closed out the opening period with a 14-0 run to lead 16-6 after the first. After a three-pointer from Hannah Barber and a couple of free throws from Brittany Davis, Alabama held their largest lead of the half at 28-14. Hannah Barber scored the final basket of the half on this three-point shot as the Tide led the Bulldogs at the half 31-18.
A three-pointer with just over 8 minutes to go in the third quarter gave the Crimson Tide a 15-point lead at 36-21. Then the Bulldogs started chipping away at the lead. After the three-point shot from Davis, Georgia closed out the third with a 17-8 run to make it just a 6-point game heading into the final 10 minutes of play. A 9-0 Georgia run made it a one-point contest with just 40 seconds remaining, but Alabama held on as the Tide knocked down 4 of 6 free throws in the final 20 seconds as Alabama captured the win in its SEC opener, 56-53.
With the win, Alabama has back-to-back wins over Georgia for the first time since 1997 and 98. Brittany Davis led Alabama in points and rebounds as she finished with 17 points and 9 boards, just one shy of the double-double. Hannah Barber tied her season high with 12 points as she shot 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Shoot or shoot, baby. That win improved the Tide's record to 12-2 on the season, but Alabama dropped an 89-76 decision to Tennessee on Sunday.
The Alabama gymnastics team is getting ready to begin the Ashley Johnston era as the Gym Tide opens the season this Friday night at Coleman Coliseum. The 7th-ranked Crimson Tide will host 12th-ranked Michigan State.
Michigan State is a great program. Again, they're coming off one of their best seasons ever, and so we're really looking forward to that matchup. I think it's going to be a great one, and ultimately this team is prepared. They're ready to go, and there's no other preparation than to just be put to the test and to be out there for the first time competing under the lights, and we're just really excited to get this season started.
Don't go anywhere. It was a big week for the Crimson Tide, and we've got some exciting plays of the week and some great performances from our players of the week.
That and more coming up in just 90 seconds right here on Tide TV This Week.
How about some noise at the Rhodes House? Sliding in around the tag is Dowling.
Ashley Prangy, and Alabama takes the lead. That's well hit to center. Montana Fouts got her.
Jenna Johnson. Perfectly executed.
She's looking for more. That's gone. Alabama answers right back to grab the lead.
A moment for the Crimson Tide when they needed it the most.
Full in.
Wow. All the work they've been putting in.
Absolute great competitor. Just beautiful to watch from start to finish. Practice is paying off, and she knows it. Beautiful. It's going to be a big number. And sticks that landing. Beautiful landing. Oh, my God. Perfect stop.
Now Howard will throw on first down, looking, and it is picked off. Intercepted by Alabama at the 21-yard line. Jordan Battle making the pick. Gets the snap. Young looking, firing across the middle. Burton is there. Touchdown, Alabama. Play action, rolling left, looking, has a man down there. Good coverage, though, didn't matter. Catch made, Ja'Cory Brooks, touchdown, Alabama. Catch pass is thrown, it's almost picked off, and it was. Brian Branch with the interception. Bryce across the middle, catch is made, still on his feet. 10-5, touchdown, Kobe Prentice. Starting 5 are back out on the floor for Bama. Miller lets it fly. Nailed it. Midcourt 3 with the shot clock expiring by Miller. Brandon, great pass ahead to Griffin. Back to Brandon, and that's how it should have finished because Miller started it all.
Welcome back to Tide TV This Week. So those were our ATI plays of the week. Now, let's take a look at our players of the week, brought to you by Legacy of Hope. The Sugar Bowl MVP, Bryce Young, had a record-setting day in his last game in Crimson and White, and what else would you expect? Young threw an Alabama Bowl record 5 touchdowns as he completed 15 of 21 for 321 yards. Young's 5 touchdown passes gives him 80 for his career, second all-time in Alabama history.
And what a game on the other side of the ball for Brian Branch in his final game for the Crimson Tide. Branch recorded his second interception of the season as he finished with a team-high 11 solo tackles, 12 total to go along with 4 tackles for a loss and a sack.
Congratulations to Bryce and Brian, our Legacy of Hope Players of the Week. A great end to 2022 and a great start to 2023 for the Crimson Tide.
Yes, it was, Kinsey. It's been a great 2022 for Alabama. I can't wait to see what the Crimson Tide will accomplish this year in 2023.
Oh, a big Roll Tide to that. And thanks for watching. We hope to see you back here next week for another episode of TideTV This Week.
Have a great weekend, everybody. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
This has been a presentation from Learfield,